y'all real quick. I want to check your Jesus commitment. I want to check your Jesus commitment. Amen. It all started when Jesus asked his disciples the question, who do people say I am? The disciples quickly answered that some say that Jesus was John the Baptist, others say Jesus was Elijah, and some even said that he was one of the prophets. In other words, when asked, who do people say I am? The disciples responded that the people gave an array of different answers. It seemed as if everybody had a perception of Jesus. Everyone had an opinion about Jesus. But then Jesus flips the script, as he's known to do from time to time. After hearing the answers that the people gave, Jesus now asks his disciples poignantly, who do you say that I am? In other words, I hear Jesus saying this morning, I know who the people say I am. I know what folk are saying about me. I know what the crowd hanging around the periphery is saying. I know what the gossip is about me. But what about you? What about the people who've been with me? What about the people who've been studying under me? What about the people who have seen the work of God by their own eyes, with their own eyes? What about you? Who do you say I am? And this is an awesome reminder, church, that it doesn't matter what the crowd may say. It doesn't matter what people think or what folk are saying about Jesus. It doesn't matter about the opinions of the folk who are on the periphery of the kingdom. What matters is that we, the people who are called to follow him, the people who are supposed to know him and love him, the people who have seen the works of God manifest themselves time and time again. It matters to Jesus who we say he is. So the question is still important as it was way back then. Who do you say that I am? Then Peter, speaking for the disciples, answered him. I like Peter. You gotta like Peter. I got this. Y'all sit back. Y'all sit back. I got this. Peter said, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. In other words, I hear Peter saying this morning, you are the Christ. That's who we think you are. You are more than a prophet. You're not Elijah, you're not John the Baptist, you're more than just a good doer, someone who can feed the multitude or just heal the sick. No, Jesus, you're more than that. You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Hallelujah. Then Jesus does something else. He tells Peter and the rest of the disciples not to tell anyone about Peter's revelation. The Bible says in Mark 8:30 that Jesus ordered them not to tell anyone about him. See, when we read that, we just kind of skip over that and just go ahead on, you know, but let's stop there for a moment. I always wonder, why would Jesus not want the disciples to tell folk who he really was? Why not tell the world so they'll know the truth? Why hide this important piece of information? Well, maybe here the reason why Jesus didn't want his disciples to tell others who he really was because even though the disciples have properly concluded that Jesus was and is the Messiah, the Son of the living God, it becomes quite apparent that they did not have a clue about what it meant. So we find ourselves in our text this morning at a teaching moment for Jesus. It is here that Jesus begins to teach his disciples what being the Messiah was all about. Listen, he begins by saying that the Son of Man, or the Son of humanity, or Son of humankind, must undergo great suffering. Then he must be rejected by the elders, chief priests, and scribes. Oh my. And then he must be killed. And on 3 days he'll rise again. And he said it, the text says, quite openly. Didn't try to hide it. In other words, didn't hide it and try to run away from it, didn't try to sugarcoat it, didn't even try to put it in a parable. He said it very clearly that the Messiah rather, would endure great suffering, be rejected by the elders, chief priests, and scribes. Then he would be killed, but on the third day he'll rise again. That's what the Messiah is all about. I guess that wasn't good enough for Peter. Peter took Jesus aside and began to rebuke Jesus. I say that again. Y'all didn't hear that. Yeah. Peter took Jesus aside. Come here, Jesus. And began to rebuke Jesus. Greek word for rebuke in the text is the same word that is used when Jesus rebukes demons from people. So in other words, Peter might have thought something was wrong with Jesus. Maybe he had some issues that needed some counseling. Maybe Peter thought Jesus was beside himself, talking crazy, talking out of his mind. So Peter pulled Jesus aside and rebukes him for saying that the Messiah had to suffer and be treated this way. Peter thought Jesus had a demon. Then again, something must have been wrong for Jesus to talk that way. Maybe Jesus just needed a little bit of encouraging. Maybe he needed some help. So Peter steps up to the plate, tries to talk and reason with Jesus. Even the Greek word for that whole phrase, taking him aside, conveys the meaning of walking alongside a child or some sick person, guiding them along the way. So not only are you demon-possessed, Jesus, I'm going to rebuke that, but I'm going to walk with you because you got this Messiah thing all mixed up. He just trying, why y'all get mad at me? He just trying to help Jesus out. But it was Peter that needed the help. It was Peter that needed rebuking, because unbeknownst to Peter, he was now being used of the devil. The devil is used here as the tempter, the one who personifies evil. So when Peter rebukes Jesus, he becomes more than just the adversary. He becomes the spokesperson for Lucifer himself. And he threatens to derail Jesus' ministry. But once again, Jesus flipped the script. After the rebuking of Peter, get from behind. Jesus gives a rebuke of his own. The Bible says that Jesus turned, not at Peter, but he turned to look at his disciples as he rebuked Peter. In other words, this wasn't for you, Peter. This was for all of you disciples. Because even though Peter may have said it, the others probably thought it as well. So Jesus rebuked Peter by saying, get from behind me, Satan. You are not setting your mind on divine things, but on human things. In other words, that didn't come from God as your earlier statement did. You're not walking in the right spirit right now. Whether you know it or not, you've been used by the devil. It's time for me to rebuke you. Get your hands off me. It's time for me to set you straight. And this is just a quick reminder. You know, we just got out of the Bible study of James not too long ago. The same mouth we use to encourage and uplift, the same mouth that we use to say nice and pleasant things, the same mouth we use when we lift up God and bless God, and when we say the right words at the right time, the same mouth we use to bless someone with a blessing from God, the same mouth, if we are not careful, can be used of evil. Oh, but I must ask, why, when Jesus said that the Messiah had to suffer, Peter went ballistic anyway and thought Jesus was sick or going crazy? Why did he have to rebuke Peter in front of the others in the first place? What was so bad about what Jesus said about the Messiah? Well, maybe it was because they had their own, that even though they had declared him the Messiah, they had their own definitions and own meanings about what what the Messiah should be about. And the common thought in Jewish theology at the time was that the Messiah was going to come in and rule and rule with a mighty hand. Yeah. They had visions of the Messiah coming in on some big stallion with an army of men to take out the Romans who were oppressing them. They wanted the Messiah to rule and reign in perfect authority, because that's what happened in the past. Every liberator that the Israelites had was in some form a warrior who defeated the enemy on the battlefields. So the Israelites had no use for some suffering Messiah, no use for some weak and willing need Messiah who wouldn't fight or stand up to the powers to be in a militaristic way. But before we jump on Peter and the disciples for having their views about the Messiah, maybe we need to check out. Maybe we need to re-examine what it means for us when we say Jesus is Messiah. Because I can't help but believe that many of us are in the same boat when it comes to the expectations of the Messiah. You know, for many of us, we kind of want a warring Jesus. Not with a staff in hand, but some AK-47. Or some other assault rifle ready to pounce. It seems to me that many of us want this type of Messiah. A Messiah that would kick butt and take names. A Messiah that is not some peaceful, like I said, just gentle lamb, but a roaring lion, ready to pounce. Some of us want a Messiah like that. We want a Messiah that's always in the blessing business. A Messiah that's always blessing us, always comforting us, always reassuring us, always guiding us, giving us what we need and what we want. We want that Messiah to be a part of what we think a Messiah ought to be like. We want a Messiah that's going to feed us, going to take care of us. We want that Messiah. You know how Jesus fed 5,000, and then when he began to teach, they started to leave? They just showed up because the food pantry was open. So we want that type of Messiah. We want a Messiah that is going to be all about who we are. And we don't want a Messiah that's going to challenge us. We don't want a Messiah that's going to push us. We don't want a Messiah that's going to admonish us from time to time, or even one that's going to rebuke us when we get out of line. So what kind of Messiah do you want? Well, the good news is, it doesn't really matter what kind you want. The only one you got is the one we have in the Bible. That's the same Messiah that rebuked Peter. The same Messiah that told us to love our enemies. The same Messiah that told us to walk an extra mile with somebody. The same Messiah that told us to forgive. The same Messiah that told us that we do not try to get back at our enemies. We allow the Lord to do the Lord's work and allow you just to sit and see the glory of God. The same Messiah that told us all of that. That's the one. Oh, maybe that's the problem. I just figured it out. Thank you. Maybe the real problem is with this whole Messiah thing is that maybe we're ashamed of Jesus. Didn't that Jesus say, if you're ashamed of me, I'm going to be ashamed of you when it's wrong? And maybe the real issue is that we are ashamed of Jesus. Because Jesus are not those things that we want Jesus to be. And then you ask me to submit and to pray and to come and to serve under that type of Messiah? Maybe I want to trust in my own arms. Maybe I want to trust in my own wallet, my own purse, my own job, my own power, Because that seems like a little weak old Jesus over there. Jesus says, if you're going to be ashamed of me and the things that I do, that when that time comes, when you're standing before the great judge of all creation, I too might just be ashamed of you. I don't know about you, but I'm not ashamed of Jesus. I don't want to ever be ashamed of Jesus. The same Jesus that walked with us and talks with us. The same Jesus who does provide the comfort that we need and the reassurance and guidance. The same Jesus that lifts us up and places our feet on solid ground. The same Jesus that lifts us with his love and grabs us by his grace. The same Jesus who we can turn to when times get tough. It's the same Jesus that we need right now to get us over the hump, to get us to the next day, to get us to the next week. Because if you can hang on and hold out, you too will be like the disciples and see that there's no shame in Jesus. I just want to check your commitment today. Are you committed to the TV Jesus? Or to the Jesus of the Bible? And if you're committed to the Jesus of the Bible, you may have to just pick up your cross. No, I'm sorry. Deny yourself. Pick up your cross and follow him. There's no following without a cross. Now see, that don't grow, church. Man, I want to move my way out of here. I would try. But the only thing I can say, check if Jesus committed. Are you committed? And if you're committed to him, I won't have an ever ask you to be committed to the church. If you're committed to him and your church, I would never ever have to have word about you being committed to the servants of God. If you're committed to him, the church, and the servants, I would never ever have to ask you to be committed to even yourself and your family, because guess what? You will want to do what is best for you and your family by following the Lord and walking with God each and every day.